Hello and welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Hi, friends. Happy Feel Good Friday. We're practicing yin tonight. How are you? Um, as you see, I'm wearing a microphone, but it's really not going to help for this practice. This is for the video that I'm recording that I will later put on the other platform if you would like to have this practice. I practiced playing with this like last weekend, and it actually no, it was this week when I was doing some meditations and recording uh, for the other platform, and it really works nicely. And I don't have to yell. I don't have to project as much, even though that's like my former life, right, of being a special ed teacher, of like being able to project. Anyway, welcome to class. What would you like today? How are you feeling? What's emotional, physical? I have my notes. I'm ready to go. I first and foremost almost want to apologize ahead of time. I live in Las Vegas. I don't know if you know what's going on here right now, but SEMA is happening. Um, so this is the thing, is that this is not for that. So what you're getting right now, maybe go out and in, Brooke, but check your connection. I have an excellent connection right now, so I should be fine. But if you're having some auditory stuff go on with your stuff, try going out and coming back in. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Hello, hello. Okay, so like I was saying, I don't know if you know what's happening right now in Vegas right now, but SEMA is happening and it's the car thing. And so my streets, because I live very close to the convention center, very close to the strip, there's been a lot of extra traffic, and it's been extra loud today because apparently half an hour ago they started the car parade. And I saw some hot rods. So I was actually on my balcony taking some cool video of the hot rods that were cruising around. So anyway, here in Vegas, it is dark or almost dark, but what is happening that we can do for you tonight? Hi, Brooke. Okay, yes. And Julie, your sound is good. All right, so let me make some notes about today, what we're going to practice. Let me know if there's anything like a specific place in the body, if there's a specific pose that you would like. I'm always game for that. All right, so here we are, November 8th already. Oh gosh, how is this possible? I can't believe we're already at the end of the year. You have been feeling extremely tired and emotionally drained. Yes, I've kind of heard of that this week. So Feel Good Friday yin. And we are going to work on neck and shoulders. Absolutely. And that's some of the physical stuff. Danielle's asking for hip flexors and psoas. Yes, ma'am. I like it. I was thinking of that anyway. I love it. And always hips. Yes, always, always hips. Hips, low back, neck. Sissy's like, yeah, me too, me too. All right, cool. Hip flexors. Psoas, yes. Okay, perfect. And then for the emotional part, absolutely. If we are feeling depleted, if we are feeling tired, we did have that time change. So I know sometimes that also throws us off with it getting darker sooner, earlier. Kind of brings us down a little bit. Something I started to use. Hi, Priscilla, welcome. You can hear me now? Awesome, beautiful. Good, Brooke. When I was living in New Hampshire, sorry for my janky nail, it broke yesterday at the event. Gotta get my nails done. What I was saying is that, oh God, my train of thought is like, I feel like 10-second Tom over here some days. The event, no, backtrack. Emotionally drained. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Living in New Hampshire. Thank you. Gosh, I love you. All of you so much. The happy light seriously helped me when I was living in New Hampshire and the winters were so long. Definitely, definitely get a happy light. Yeah. Man, those happy lights are a lifesaver during the wintertime because you just sit in front of it. You can set it up wherever you are. You know, you could be watching television or working on the computer. I was using it when I was doing like blogging and writing and all that kind of stuff. And I would just sit there and it would just shine on in my eyes and it would help so much. So if you are feeling that way, if that's like, if you get seasonal, if you're affected by the seasons, I know I am. That's why I need sunshine. And that's why, I mean, as much as I love living back east in New Hampshire, there are a lot of gray days. So definitely find that sunshine. Time change, yes, for sure, Priscilla. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, a happy light. So it is a light that you would set up. I had one and I gave it away. That's why you moved from Florida or to Florida from Connecticut. Absolutely. The sunshine means so much. And I know, the election took a lot out of people. A lot of my coworkers were really upset. And, it's whatever side you were on, that's neither here nor there. But it's, I think, all in all, if people are suffering, right, we don't want them to suffer. We want people to be alleviated from their suffering. So if there are people in your life that are upset, or if you personally are upset about whatever happened this week with the election, um, it's going to be okay. We're all going to be okay, because it's not the end. It's not the end, okay? And try to focus on the things that you have control over. Don't think about the things you don't have control over, because that leads us to nowhere, right? Because we can't do anything about it. So best not to worry about it so much. But the things that are in your control, your happiness, the things that make you happy, the things that you can do in your life. And I've shared this before. After the Parkland shooting at the high school in Florida, was that 2018? I was terribly upset and so devastated, because as a former educator, you hate hearing about schools being shot up, and it's devastating. It shouldn't even be happening, right? Um, but I remember my mother-in-law telling me, "Do what you can in your 1 square mile. Just do what you can and make a difference there." And so that is what I always try to remember when I have these moments of hopelessness and wishing I can do more, or why is this suffering happening in the world? Uh, I try to affect my 1 square mile, and this also includes my 1 square mile of internet. So, whatever I can offer you as advice, I'm always happy to share. I do want to dedicate tonight's practice to my neighbor. Really strange, bizarre thing happened. I was taking Betty out last night for her final walk around 9:10, 9:15, and this lovely neighbor in the apartment that we kind of watch out for each other. She watches my door, I watch her door, type thing, because I've had packages stole off my front porch right here in the hallway. Um, she asked me for my help, and I said, "Let me go put Betty away." So I brought her back in the apartment. She goes, "My boyfriend fell, and I need your help." And I said, "Okay." So I thought maybe he fell and slipped, and he was conscious and whatnot. Um, and so I went into the apartment, and unfortunately, he was face down, and she was on the phone with the paramedics. And so I had to talk to the paramedics, and apparently, she was asleep and she heard him fall. And so he fell and he had a plate, and he hit his head on his way down. So there was apparently a lot of blood, but he was face down, and the dispatcher said, don't turn him over, leave him, just, make sure he's still breathing. And if anything changes before the paramedics get there, please let me know. All I did was just put my hand on his back and just offer Reiki, and just, like my energy of like, we are here, we're supporting you, and you're going to be okay. Unfortunately, he did not make it. And I had a feeling it wasn't going to be okay. And the paramedics worked on him for 20 minutes. And she asked me, can you just stay? And I stayed until her son got here. He lives not that far away. And then, of course, I waited for the paramedics. And I just wanted to be supportive to her, and I just felt so dang helpless. I could, and I'm CPR trained and all that kind of stuff. But when the dispatcher says, don't turn him over, because, but, so I'm dedicating the practice to Shannon tonight, and to Miss Judy, and sending their family lots of love. And thank you very much for your love. Because it was a little, it was a little scary for me too. I just try to remain as calm as possible, but it's kind of wild when you have your hand on somebody's body, and you kind of feel like you might know that they're taking their last final breaths. It's kind of a weird thing, but all I could do was just be there and just send that loving, healing Reiki energy. So thank you very much for allowing me to share that with you tonight. That was my evening. It was kind of strange, but it was divine that I was in the right spot at the right time, because she is not a neighbor that reaches out to people. So anyway, that was my story. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm a little traumatized actually from last night too. I'm a little like overwhelmed. Um, it was a lot. I did cry last night, afterwards when I came back in, and, put Betty, back inside, and just, we are all connected, and that's a good reminder, is that regardless of whatever side you fall on, right? We are all human. We are all living in a human, form, shape, and we need to be able to support one another, because in the end, we take off these meat suits and we are all the same, right? We are bones and blood and organs, and we have human emotions and we feel things, right? Maybe not simultaneously, but we definitely feel things. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, it was not how I thought my night was going to end for sure. But happy I could be there to support her for sure. All right. So we are feeling a little tired, a little drained. Anybody feeling any other sensations or anything else that we want to work on tonight? I have neck, shoulders, hip flexors, psoas, hips. And, of course, that will always target the low back too. Have your items with you. Have your blocks, your bolster, some blankets, or anything else. And then if you feel a little chilly, grab a scarf, grab a wrap, grab a robe or a blanket to keep warm. I'm wearing all long stuff. I got long pants and I got my socks on, and Betty's wearing her fur coat. So we're ready to practice. All right. So let's start with our comfortable seat. Let's do that. Okay. All right, friends, let's do this. And I have to say, I had a wonderful event yesterday, kind of networking and talking to people here in Vegas. We went to Konami Gaming, and that was a lot of fun. We got to provide them with some wellness, and we were a huge hit. They loved us. We brought 2 massage therapists, 2 estheticians, probably more than that, let me think. And they worked their magic, and I zipped people up in the Balancer Pro lymphatic drainage suit, and they were super impressed. So we made a lot of great connections and planted a lot of seeds, hopefully for wellness for this company. But if there's anybody, local in Vegas that wants information about the wellness spot, I'm more than happy to help out and give you that. And we can maybe come share some with y'all. It would be fun. Or if you're ever in Vegas and you want to tour the spa, please, reach out. I love showing people our stuff. All right, so nice, comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. Yeah. Whew. It's been a week. This week has felt like a month. It's just been long, but with a lot of good stuff. So hopefully you have good stuff going on too. So take a nice inhale through your nose. Open mouth, release, let it out. Just release that energy if you're holding on to any that you just need to let go of because it's just not serving you, right? Let it be anxiety or worry, any kind of stress. Just let it go. So take another breath in. Filling the chest, filling the belly. Open mouth, release, let it go. One more. Inhale. Fully, deeply. Open mouth, let it go. And then just find your shoulders over your hips. If you want to lift the shoulders and take some circles with them in one direction, you can do that too. Just slowly rolling it out. Good. And then pause, reverse, go the other way. So my next task is to figure out how I can get this attached to my laptop. I'm trying to be technical, I'm trying to get this all figured out. I just want to make sure I'm speaking loud enough for you, but not too loud for the video that I'm recording. But we'll see. I'll watch it back in a little bit. You're my guinea pigs tonight, so thank you. All right, so sitting up nice and tall. Bringing a hand to your heart, a hand to your belly. Good. And if there's anybody in your life or yourself or a group of people, we'll send a little metta, a little loving kindness and compassion here to a person, a group of people, or sending it back to yourself. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you be free from harm. May all the people in my life be happy. May they be healthy. May they be safe. May they be free from harm and suffering. Breathing here. Allowing your body to become very still. And after the body becomes still, the brain will follow. The mind will settle down as well. Softening into your jaw, relaxing all of your facial features. And feeling that life force, your prana, your chi, your essence, this spirit that embodies you, and that spirit that animates this physical human meat suit. Such a strange thing, right? Staying here for 2 to 3 more cycles of breath. Again, set an intention for your practice or using this practice to honor anyone in your life. And gently allow the hands to float back to the tops of your knees. Gently blink open your eyes, come back to your space. All right, so I heard neck and shoulders. So let's start with that. And if we want to switch the crossing of our shins, let's do that. Let's just start here with the neck and the shoulders. So inhale through your nose. Exhale, gently bring your right ear to right shoulder. Option 1 to stay here. Another option is to bring the arms behind the back, maybe clasp elbows. See how that feels here. Just try to keep open through the heart so you're not rounding and dropping the head forward. So keep allowing that ear to drop closer to the shoulder, but keep the shoulders level. Try to make sure you're like not leaning over to the right. Keep the spine nice and straight. Just the head is tilting. And then breathe into the left side of your neck. Good. Then gently let the chin come down towards the collarbones, stretching out the back of the neck slightly. Breathing here. Good. Gently on an inhale, lift the head. Good. Bring it back to center. Release the arms. And then if it suits you, maybe a little swivel of your chin side to side. Right? And the chin doesn't need to come directly over the shoulder if it's just like a little degree turn each way. But even, you can do that. It's fine. Good. Okay, bring your head back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Left ear, left shoulder. Option just to stay right here. If the head tilt is enough, stay. And then if you want, maybe take elbow clasp behind the back, evening out the shoulders. Maybe switch so that the other forearm is on top or in front. Just allow all that honking and all that noise in my background. Just let that become part of the practice. Like I said, it's been a very, very busy week over here with SEMA. All of a sudden I started noticing all these cars parking on my street. I'm like, this is unusual. Lots of people, lots of cars, like for hours. This is going to go on for another couple hours over here because they shut off the street right by the convention center. And that's where all this traffic would usually go through. So it's very entertaining. All right, slowly bring your chin down towards your collarbones. Again, just stretching out the back of your neck. You might feel different sensations in different places just from that little movement from ear to shoulder to chin towards collarbone. Where are you going, Mama? What you doing? Hi. And then just keep breathing. Nice, full, even breaths. All right, slowly inhale, float the head up. Release your arms. Again, if you want a little head swivel side to side. Oh, Betty got chicky. Is it chicky time? It's kind of like every day at this time. It's like bewitching hours or something. She's like, oh, it's time to get crazy with my toys. It's the cutest thing. I don't know where it comes from, right? She just gets excited. You know what she does too in the morning when I pull up my rebounder from the balcony and I put it right here and I start jumping? She starts getting chicky and she starts going crazy. The other morning, she tried to like jump on the little trampoline with me. I was like, what are you doing? She's never done that. Only when I was with the ex-boyfriend and he had the golden. The golden tried to jump on the trampoline with me. Like, you're like a giant dog. You can't get on here. You crazy thing. Okay, neck and shoulders. Good stuff. Let's get a little bit more into the shoulders and the neck. So clear off your mat. If you would like to use some blocks, you may. That's where I'm heading. We're heading into a child's pose, but taking the elbows on the blocks or taking hands on blocks. So I'm going to give you some choices. Sink the hips back towards the heels, and if that does not happen easily, feel free to take a blanket, fold it once, maybe twice, and then put it in that space where you're needing to fill that gap. I want you supported. Okay, from here, keep the knees wide, but they don't have to be super wide, but just kind of enough. They're not together, but they're definitely apart. So creating some space here. I am going to set the timer for this next posture. We're going to be here for 2 minutes. If the shoulders start to get a little too spicy, feel free to come out, right? That's an option, right? Because we can work our way to 2 minutes if you're not there yet. Never put your body in the place where it's going to be hurting, right? You're going to cause yourself injury or pain. We want to skip that. Okay, hands on top of blocks. Forehead comes to the earth. And if the shoulders are spicy because it's too narrow, take the blocks, take the hands a little bit wider than shoulder distance. This will help alleviate some of that you might be sensing. And then always options if you want to bring elbows. So bring those blocks closer, set the elbows on the blocks, palms come together in Anjali Mudra, little prayer pose for the hands, and then head drops to the floor. And just breathe. Keep releasing on the exhale. All right, my friends, release your hands. Release the elbows, slowly come up. Feel free to take some movement. If the legs feel a little cramped, we were sitting for a little while. We were doing the next stuff. So if you want to take the legs out, maybe just begin to stretch one leg back at a time. Press through that heel. Feel a little engagement in the calf. And opening up the back of your knee. And then switch. And if there's anything else you need, go ahead, feel free to take some movement. All right, I'm just going to pop over to the chat, see if there's anything that got added. Very good. Okay. Ooh, electric blanket. That sounds amazing. Good for you. I see a few more people came on and joined. Welcome. If there's anything going on in your body, if there's a specific area or specific pose that you would like tonight, please feel free, type it in the chat. Like I said, I kind of have like neck, shoulders, hip flexors, psoas, and then always hips and low back will be in there too. But if there's anything emotionally that you would like to throw in there, please feel free to do so too. All right, it's just nice to see all your little icons. You're all here with me tonight. Okay, we're here together. I love it. Okay, cats and cows, anybody? Maybe just some cats and cows might feel really good here after sitting for a little bit. I definitely do want to get into our hips for sure. And definitely we'll get into the hip flexors. For sure. We'll do some good work for sure. Okay, Betty, you're gonna have to move, sister. Or you know what, maybe I'm gonna let her stay there for a minute. Let's just warm up the hips a little bit. I was gonna go straight into something pretty juicy, but I'm like, you know what, maybe it's a sign. Maybe Betty sitting there is great. We'll get to that one soon. We're definitely going to use blankets. Okay, take the blocks. We're going to come into our lizard lunges just to get into the psoas. Let's get into the hip flexors too, right? So let's get into it. I'll give you some variations as well if we want to go a little bit deeper. I'm going to set the timer for 4 minutes, and we'll go through, like I said, some variations of this pose. So hands can be on blocks. Track that knee over the ankle for this. But if you do feel comfortable with overstepping dragon, then you may definitely, sorry, Betty, you may definitely bring the knee in front of the ankle if that is comfortable and safe for your knee. If not, then I would prefer you to just keep it stacked. All right. But you know your body best. I just want to give you some choices. Take those blocks anywhere you like, up high, down low, medium, or maybe no blocks at all. But I want you to think about opening up through this left hip flexor here. Get low. Get low. Didn't we have a song in the early 2000s, something about getting low? Oh my, the club days in Hollywood, so much fun. All right, you're more than welcome to stay here. We are getting down to being in here for a minute. You can walk the hands on the inside and then also drop down to elbows. Any level. Any level. You can shift and rock a little side to side, see how that feels, and then find some stillness. Breathing. This should be a nice, good one tonight. A really good one. We're going to get the hips again, but we're going to also work on the inside of the thigh too. That's going to be good. Going to kind of hit all areas tonight. Okay, another option here. Take the toes, turn the toes towards the right corner of the mat, and then maybe allow the knee to open. So we have a nice winged dragon out to the side. So that means you're on the outside edge of the right foot. If it doesn't feel safe or comfortable, come out, plant that foot back down, and then you can always turn the toes so they're pointing to the top. But if it feels okay, you can keep those toes pointed towards the right corner. Just keep breathing. You okay, Mama? All right. And just remember, as you come out of this shape, I want you to be very mindful about what we just stretched, right? So we're doing a lot of tension here. We're adding tension to the hip flexor to pull apart. Okay, that's what we do when we add tension. When we compress, means we're pushing two things together, right? Two body parts together. Gently begin to turn those toes back in, bring the knee back up over the ankle. Good, we're just gonna slowly ease our way out the same way we went in. And if you have those blocks, move them out. And then slowly begin to shift your hips back. Okay, if you want to take a little dynamic movement, slowly move forward and back. It doesn't have to be fast and it doesn't have to be a whole lot of movement, but be very mindful about that left hip flexor. All right, you can bring that right foot back. Pause for a second. Okay, that was 4 minutes in that whole cycle. We're going to do it again now on the left side. Do you notice? I definitely feel a lot more space here, but I do feel that kind of like achy, throbby, like, oh, I opened that up for sure. Okay, next side. Step the left foot to the top. Maybe that right knee walks back a little bit. Give yourself some space. Again, if it feels comfortable on your knee joint, you can bring the knee beyond the ankle. But if there's anything happening in your knee, I want you to keep the knee and the ankle stacked. Okay, I'm going to start my timer now. 4 minutes begins now. So just pause here, get comfortable with what's happening, opening up that right hip flexor. If you've been feeling a lot this week, release in this pose. If you've been feeling a lot of sensation, a lot of emotions, let them go, right? We're opening it up right now. Releasing all of that energy that has been stored in our bodies. We just haven't given it an opportunity to let it go. Right? I've been seeing a lot of these like somatic yoga workouts that are like for women specifically. Maybe you've seen them too on Instagram. I'm going to take those blocks, walk them on the inside. And then again, you can drop down to elbows or you can stay up high. If you want to bring the hands in, totally up to you. And I'm just kind of doing this organically as I feel like my body is ready and open. So if you're not there yet, that's fine. You can stay up and then come down when you're ready. And just like I said, I'm just kind of doing it organically when I feel like my body is ready to go to the next step. But if you're not going to take it, don't do it. You're fine. Okay, another option, right? Turn those left toes to the left corner. And then you can open up the knee into winged dragon. Again, options and choices here. Be where you are at today. So these somatic yoga exercises I'm seeing, right? And it's a lot of hip stuff. It's yoga, but it's a lot of hip stuff. And it's supposed to help with releasing even weight, right? I definitely know that. I know when I'm stressed or if my body is, I'm having some kind of, I don't want to say crisis, but something is happening in my life. I definitely feel like I hold weight more when I'm going through something. The body is just inflamed, right? It's communicating, it's letting us know, hey, something's not right, we're stressed. Pay attention, And that's why hosting that trauma sensitive practice last month was so important, right? It's giving space to people that may not have had an opportunity to explore in a regular yoga class, right? Because we don't always give that in a regular yoga class. It's just a little different, right? Just keep breathing, my friends, releasing. Good. All right, if you brought the foot up, carefully bring that foot back down. Take the toes to the top of the mat. Like I said, we're going to transition out of this very slowly. So hands come onto blocks. If you brought the elbows down, maybe again, you're separating the blocks. one under each shoulder. Just ease your way out the same way you eased your way in. Shift the hips back, bring them forward. Maybe you don't go as deep. Just take it very slow and mindfully. You can even let your arms do most of the work here of holding you up to take the weight off of the hip flexor we just stretched. And then when you're ready, just slowly bring that foot back. Take a pause, take a moment, sit the hips back down onto the heels, and just notice, what are they saying to you now? Right? Do they feel okay? Do they feel a little more open? Right? A little more movement? Okay. There we go. That was 4 minutes right there. Right? Start to finish. Okay. Beautiful. All right, now let's get into it. This is where I was going to go, but Betty still hasn't moved, but she's going to have to move. Mama, I need to get a blanket. Baby girl. Okay. I'm just going to let her be. She's okay. She's happy on the blankets. You know, this is what we do, right? For the animals, we're like, oh, they're fine. You know, it's okay. I'll suffer. Okay. I was going to go sideways, but I guess I'm not. I was going to go sideways on my mat, but I'm just going to go take this way on my yoga mat. All right. We're coming into frog and tadpole. So my friends, you can choose how deep you're going to take it. Maybe it's a tadpole. So bring the big toes together. And then we're going to use the arms, the forearms, the hands, wherever you are. We're going to take, right, ourselves and bring the hips back. Maybe you start to let the knees go further apart and then turn the toes out. Maybe the shins come in line with the ankles, and the knees come in line, right? And then shift the hips back. We're not going to be here for super long because this is, intense. Let's call it 2 minutes into our tadpole frog, whichever you want to do. If you want to take a half frog, you can do that, and you come all the way down to your belly and then just kind of like Spider-Man the knee out to the side. If this is just a little too intense, I want you to just take it easy. The more you shift your hips back towards your heels, the more sensation you will feel. And breathe. All right, how we doing? We breathing? Releasing. Again, when it starts to feel a little easy, maybe you push the hips back a little bit more. Yes. Maybe you can take the knees a little further apart. Remember, this is not, please be gentle with this one. It's a good one. We only have about 10 more seconds left. All right. There we go. Slowly come back to hands. Shift however you can in a way that causes no harm, no injury. Oh, how we doing? Feeling it? I know I am. This is good. It's this area stores a lot of emotion, a lot of stuff we don't express, right? It's the sacral chakra. That's the emotional center. It's a feminine energy. It's a yin, right? It's a yin sacral energy center. So when we open the body, right, the mind, the body, make that connection, I can let it go. That's why those popular practices, right, that somatic yoga stuff is so helpful, because it's giving people that may have never thought of yoga as a tool to help with healing or trauma or what have you. People just think it's like, oh, vinyasa, whatever, I'm going to sweat, it's going to be great. There's so much more to it, you guys. And you know that. That's why you're here. Okay, so let's just take a nice little pause on our back. We're going to come back up for some more. We'll be doing a pigeon later just to really finish off the hips. But right now, I just want to bring us down to our backs and kind of give the front body a rest. So let's come down to do a little banana asana. I love the shape. I love the name, you know, also crescent, whatever you want to call it. So just lay on your back. If you want to hug the knees into your chest, you can. Give yourself a little rock. Might feel nice on the low back after that frog pose or tadpole, whichever one that you took. Maybe bring the knees in a circle in one direction. It's nice to take a little movement in our yin practice, especially maybe if we've been in a posture for a little while and we got a little chilly. It might feel nice to move and circulate the blood a little bit. And as you're ready, just release your legs back down to the earth. I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes as we come into the first side. So reach the arms overhead on an inhale. And then exhale, walk the shoulders over to the left. I'm going to take my left hand, grab my right wrist. I need to make some space over here. Good. And then I'm going to take my legs and walk them over to the left as far as I can, safely, comfortably. And then I'm going to take my right leg and cross over my left ankle. So when I do that, I can definitely feel that activation in the psoas. Oh yes, that deep muscle in the belly on the side. That psoas is what connects the lower body to the upper body, to the spine, right? That's a great one. It wraps around. Maybe go a little bit deeper if you choose to, if it feels okay. Make sure both shoulders are on the floor. And if for some reason that right shoulder starts to hurt or aggravate you, release the arms or release the right arm, and then you can keep the left arm kind of moving in that crescent moon or banana shape. Smooth exhales through the nose. Breathe into that right hip. I'm definitely feeling it. Good. On your next exhale, release your arms, unwrap your legs, move back to center if you shifted on your yoga mat. Again, draw the knees in. Give yourself a little rock. And then as you are ready, we will go over to the other side. I'm just going to shift my body on my yoga mat so I'm on the left side of my mat so I have some more space on the yoga mat for the right. Okay. All right, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bring the upper body over to the right. Maybe that left hand grabs the right wrist and pulls it over. And then add your legs. Walk them over. I'm going to take my left leg on top of my right. Left ankle over right. And then I can just feel that deep sensation on my left side. I can feel it activated and engaged. I'm feeling a stretch. Wherever you're feeling it is where you're meant to feel it. Things may have changed, but notice, right? If the sensation is pain, take note. That's a different sensation than what we're going for. We want that kind of dull, warm, achy feeling, like of a stretch. That sharp shooting pain we want to avoid. Soften through your face and your jaw. Even your hand, if your hand is, I was just noticing, I was like tightly gripping my wrist. I'm like, I don't have to hold it that tight. It's not going to go anywhere. All right, gently, as you exhale, release the arms, the upper body, bring them back to center, and cross the ankles. Yes. Again, bring the knees in. If there's anything else you wish, maybe you want a little bridge. Press the feet into the ground, lift the hips. Might feel lovely on the spine. You can do that a few times. Inhale, float your hips up. Exhale, slowly release. Good, maybe one more. Float the hips up. Release vertebra by vertebra all the way back down. Okay. So I said I wanted to take us into a pigeon, and that is where we're headed towards right now. So we'll take a pigeon on each side, and then we'll come down for a spinal twist before our final pose. Okay, starting here, we're coming to hands and knees. Make your way there. Let's bring the right knee towards the right wrist. Bring that back left leg straight, and then use whatever you need. If you need a block, if you need a blanket, you need a towel to support yourself, but bring yourself all the way down. I'm going to feel, that piriformis on the right side. Yes. So 2 minutes here on the right side. Now you are more than welcome to stay upright in your swan, or bring it down to the elbows and sleep your swan. But keep breathing into that space. Keep opening up the hip. This is definitely a very hippie class. Very hippie. Notice if it's putting any additional pressure on that right knee. If it is, then come up. You don't have to stay in it, but level those hips out. All right, my friends. Slowly begin to bring your hands under your shoulders if you came down to a sleeping swan. I like to curl those left toes and then step the right foot back. You can come into cats and cows or take any movement that you wish before we go to our other side. But however you choose to move, do it mindfully. Be intentional with your movement, which is also a good reminder to be intentional and mindful with your thoughts as well. It's funny, you know, the things I hear throughout my day. One of our girls at work, one of our estheticians, she's a great gal. I love her. But she'll say things, she goes, I'm broke. I'm a broke girl. And like, she's clearly not. But I'm like, why do you say that? Let's, speak some abundance into our life. Let's call into what we want to our life. We're not going to focus on what we don't have, right? We start focusing on what we don't have, we create lack, we create scarcity. It's a mindset, right? So when I was with my girl, that I normally work with at night, and we were getting some, tips, gratuity for, helping people on the wellness stuff at the spa. And not everybody tips, whatever. And it's also Vegas. So people tip everywhere in Vegas and like places you wouldn't think. All right, let's go to the other side when you're ready. Left knee, left wrist, extend that back leg out. And so I told her, I said, hey, we're gonna get some abundance. We're raking in that money, like we always joke, like, when we have clients that are so generous with their membership, they, like they'll gift a friend a facial because they've racked up a few facials and they haven't used them all. So they're like, oh, I'm going to bring my sister in or my best friend and, she can take my credit and have that facial. So they're like, oh, that's so wonderful. And then sometimes we'll get clients be like, okay, so like I'm setting up my friend for a facial and, whatever product she wants, go ahead and put it on my card. And so anytime we have one of those generous clients, I always turn to my girl and I'm like, that's the level I want to be at. I want to be at that level where I can just, send my friend in, send my best friend Katie or Stacy in for something and be like, whatever she wants, she can have. I like that. That's the level I want to be on. Right? So, yeah. So that week, we actually did really well in our gratuity and our tips. And I'm like, it's a mindset. It's just coming to me. That money is flowing to me effortlessly. I'm abundant. It's coming to me, right? It's on its way. All right. If you want to sleep that swan, you can. We have 1 more minute here. It's only a 2-minute hold. Sink a little deeper into it. Use that breath. Keep exhaling and releasing, letting go. So release any of that scarcity mindset that you don't have enough. Think about what you do have and be grateful for what is there, and then more is on its way. Indeed. All right, my friends, if you slept your swan, walk the hands back under your shoulders. Inhale to come up. Just going to carefully swing this back leg forward. Be mindful, right? I'm feeling that hip flexor is very open. Just going to scooch down to the center of my mat, hug the knees in. All right. Again, mindful, with care. Ahimsa. Satya, be truthful about your practice and how your body feels. On an exhale, gently bring your knees over to the right. If you want to take a single leg spinal twist, you may, or you can keep it a double. Boy, all that honking isn't really doing much. I don't know why they're doing it. It's so wild. It's like literally, if I could show you outside, it's bumper to bumper, 4-way stop sign. It's wild out there. Keep both shoulders grounded. If one of your shoulders, if that left one is not grounded, come out of the twist a little bit to support the shoulder, and then add a block or some blankets to the knees. Slowly inhale, bring the knees up. Recenter yourself, reposition if you need to, and then drop the knees over to the left. Cactus arm, goalpost, T-shape, whatever you like. Hi, Mama, you got your chickie and your wolfie? Oh my gosh, you got all the friends today. Her little babies. Just breathe here. Just release your back. It should feel really nice after that hip stuff. A gentle twist. Slowly inhale. Bring your knees up again. Maybe it is a happy baby now. Just another, one more hip movement. Okay, knees drop to the outsides of the ribs, dropping down towards the armpits. Good, and rock a little. Rock your baby. And as you are ready, go ahead, elongate your body along the mat. Bring your hands to your belly or alongside your body. Rock your head from side to side. Keep that natural curve in your neck. So don't flatten it out. And then don't over exaggerate it and lift your chin towards the sky. But your face should be flush, looking directly at the ceiling. And softening through your face, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead. Take a nice full deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, release, sigh it out. Just let all the air inside of your body just deflate like a balloon. One more breath in. Release, let it go. One more breath, inhale. Open mouth, let it go. Just allow that stillness to wash over your body once again. Having the satisfaction of knowing you did exactly what you needed for yourself today. You stayed within your limits. You didn't go beyond your edge. You stayed right there. Or maybe you were just aware of what was happening in your body this week and you backed off as you needed. You told yourself, I don't need to go all that far. I can just stay right here and be happy. No suffering. And when you're ready, just begin to bring a little movement to your fingers and to your toes. If you wish to stay in Shavasana longer, please do so. I'm trying to be mindful of our time. And maybe extend that movement, wrist and ankle circles in one direction. And reverse. And inhale, reach your arms overhead, stretch. Bend one knee at a time and just roll to one side and pause there for a moment. And then when you're ready, let's meet in our comfortable seat and we'll close our practice. We will be practicing on Sunday. I was wise enough to remember to put it in with enough time because that's what happened last Friday. I meant to put it in, but then I realized at the end of practice last Wednesday that it was less than 48 hours to Friday. And if it's less than 48 hours, you cannot book your class. So I said, rats, I'll make sure I put it for the 8th, which was for today. And then, of course, Stacy was my best friend, was here last weekend, and the show was amazing. Tears for Fears rocked it. It was awesome. They sounded so good. And I guess they're doing another show here in Vegas again at Fountain Blue, I think in February. So if you're a fan of 80s music and you're a fan of Tears for Fears, they will not disappoint. They played for about, let's see, what time did the show start? 8? Probably like 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes. And I was like 5 minutes from there. So that was amazing. And they give 4 hours complimentary parking, not just to Nevada residents, but to anybody. So Fountain Blue, beautiful hotel, absolutely gorgeous. There's my there's my pitch for the town. You're welcome. All right, inhale, the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. And thank you so much for allowing me to hold this practice and share it with you as I dedicate this practice to Shannon and to his wife, Miss Judy. And then, of course, anybody else that you want this practice dedicated to. The light in me salutes and honors the light in all of you, my friends. Namaste. Thank you so much for your donations and your time and you joining in and telling me what you need for your practice tonight. And if you didn't say anything, but you enjoyed the practice, thank you very much. Like I said, we'll do it again Sunday morning, Hatha, 9 a.m. here on Insight Timer. This weekend, I'm going to go through the month and plan out the rest of my calendar, but I don't see any reason why. I was thinking about going to California next weekend. I'm not really sure yet. I'm still figuring it out. It's my sister's birthday on Wednesday, and I kind of want to say happy birthday to her in person. But that might be next weekend. But if it's not on the calendar, then that's where I'm at. But if there's practice, then I'll be here because I'll have made my decision by then. All right, friends, I'm just going to scooch over. How are we feeling? How was practice? Good? Yes? All right, let me scroll back up because I think I missed a couple and I don't like missing. Hi, Carrie, how are you? Yeah, right, Lisa Nanda? Yeah, good times. And the crazy thing is this intersection isn't normally this crazy, but because of SEMA and they've blocked off a lot of the streets next to the convention center here, it's wild. And it's like this, like what time? It's 6, it's gonna keep going till 7. Like literally from 4 o'clock till 7 for the past week. It's been wild. So much fun. You know a great holistic vet? I love it. Yes, I love that. There's actually a few. I wonder if it's the one that I've heard of. Yeah, Friday Night in Vegas. It's wild out here. Yeah. I can't believe I live next to the strip. I don't know what I was thinking. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Priscilla. All right. Oh, we have 116 of you tonight. Beautiful. All right, so I will join me again Sunday morning, 9 a.m. I have recorded this practice. It's going to be up on the other thing, you know, the P thing, the Patreon. It's going to be on there if you want it. Joanne Stefanatos. I will look into her. I don't believe that is the name that I have, but I will write it down. Thank you very much, Lisa Nanda. It's always good to know holistic vets out here, because you know I have Betty. And she's my baby and I got to make sure she's healthy. All right, you friends, enjoy your night, drink your water, and water. There was so much hippie stuff going on. Just flush it out. Tea. Beautiful. I've heard of a few more, so it's nice to know holistic vets are out here. All right, friends, enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care, and hopefully this traffic dies down over here. All right, enjoy. Take care. Bye.